Today I will talk to you about an object that you use for less than 30 seconds. It can be extremely awkward, but it's a necessary tool for all of you to use. It's in most tall buildings, and I'm sure all of you have had to use it at least once in your life, and probably will use it a lot more times than that. No, get the scared looks off your faces. I'm not talking about toilet plungers. Today I will be talking to you about elevators. I'm going to give a brief history of elevators, the basics of elevator riding, and the official rules of elevator etiquette. For many years, objects and machines have acted as an elevator by using pulleys or a system of pulleys, animals, or water. And over time, new inventions have been made and the elevator has evolved into what we know it as today. A person who had a great influence on that was Elisha Graves Otis. Does Otis sound familiar to any of you? Because usually Otis is printed in elevators to give Elisha credit for what he did. Elisha patented the safety brake for elevators, and he was also patented as inventing the elevator because the safety brakes made it for people to use, and then it could go up to floors and stop at different levels and stuff. And when Elisha died, his son forms the Otis Brothers and Company, which is the elevator company that make elevators today. So now that you know a little bit about the elevator history, I will talk to you about what people normally do when they get into an elevator. Janine Driver did an article for MSNBC called The Unwritten Rules of Elevator Etiquette in August of 2007. The first thing she talked about was personal space. As soon as you walk into an elevator, you pick a corner or you go to one side of the wall. And that's what most people usually do because people want their space. You can follow this pattern. When there's 2 people, you separate. For 4 of you, you take a corner, and for 5 or more, you take what I call the elevator stance. This is a picture of what the elevator stance looks like. People stand up straight, they look straight ahead, usually at the numbers going up or down, and they try to make themselves really tall and really thin so more people can fit, and so you kind of feel like you have your own personal space. Another thing is eye contact. Men will usually avoid eye contact altogether, but women like to know who they're riding with, so they will occasionally give quick glances and maybe smile. So now that you know what usually happens in an elevator, let's talk about what elevatorrules.com says about proper elevator etiquette. They updated their website last in 2011. The first thing they discussed was pushing the call button. This is the button that's outside the elevator when you're waiting to get on the elevator. The number one thing is don't re-push the call button. It obviously makes you seem like you don't know how the elevators work because re-pushing it isn't going to do anything and it's not going to make the elevator come any quicker. And it also makes the person who pushed it first, who's probably standing right next to you, feel really bad because they pushed it and they did a good job pushing it and it lit up. So why did you have to push it again? The second thing is how to board. When you board, don't board onto an elevator if it's already crowded. Nobody wants that one extra person getting on and squeezing their way in. And they usually kind of smell a little bit, so let's just leave it at that and don't get on if the elevator's crowded. Unless they look at you and everyone moves and there's enough room for at least 2 people to get on, so you'll have your one spot and enough room for everyone else. Another thing is holding the door for a person. If a person's running towards the elevator and you're on a crowded elevator, don't let them get on because nobody's going to be appreciative that you held the door open and now we all have to squish and ride this elevator with this other person. And use the close door button. Everyone wants the doors to close really fast, get up to their floor and open and get off the elevator because it's really awkward. So use the close door button. It's there for a reason. Another thing when you get inside the elevator, walk in, face the doors, and mount your stance in a corner or a wall, and don't talk to the person on the elevator. It's highly discouraged. No singing, humming, or whistling, or anything. Just do your thing, stay there, and make sure you press your floor button unless it's already been pressed. Again, repressing it is going to insult the other people on the elevator, and it makes you seem like you don't know how the elevator works. Next, when you're getting off the elevator, let the ladies go first because it's just polite to do that. And if somebody's trying to get off behind you, get off or move so they can get off. Even if this means if you have to get off the elevator and then reboard, let them have their space so their exiting can be graceful. Now that you all know a little bit about the history of elevators, have been reminded of the known rules of elevators, and now have been educated on the unknown rules of elevators, I hope that next time you walk into an elevator, you walk straight in, push your floor number, unless it's already been pushed, pick a corner to stand in, don't talk, hum, or sing to anyone, look straight ahead and watch the numbers going up or down, and exit the elevator gracefully. This is proper elevator etiquette. Also, on your way out, don't forget to thank Elisha Otis for the safety brakes that allowed you to stop at the floor you pushed.